Hello, y'all. How's it going? Today, it's Monday. The day we normally do these, playthrough type streams on. Last week, of course, it was. I say, of course, as if everyone knows this by heart like I do. But last week, there were, I couldn't do the Monday stream as usual, but did it on Thursday instead, and did another dungeon's worth. And yeah, we're just continuing here tonight from whereabout we left off, where we just finished the third dungeon. We had a whole situation with Midna. We went to see the Twilight Princess, as she's called, and she fixed it good. As you can see, Midna's perfectly good now, except for the fact that we are a dog and we have no way of not being a dog. So, to help resolve that, we gotta go find a sword. A specific, really good sword. Gotta make sure not to get killed by that guy. I got a game over while I was setting the stream up. I guess when I was not at the thing, he came over and killed me. Let me just say one thing before we start, and it concerns the plan for Thursday/Friday. By the way, I'm looking at the at the mic. The audio mixer looks like we're good as far as the microphone goes. You should be able to hear me. Good. Okay. Always good to make sure that I'm not like muted or something, and I'm just talking and you're not hearing anything. Updated Thursday/Friday plans. Let me pull up the schedule and show what the plan is. So, I said earlier that I would depend on, like, when Spider-Man 2 came out. Whether, like, Thursday would be a first play on Mario Wonder, or if we do that Friday instead. Well, turns out, I pre-purchased Spider-Man 2, after the stream last Friday, and it says very plainly on the PlayStation Network page that it comes out at 11 p.m. Central Time. So, same time as Wonder. And as such, either, I would have to do a really late night stream where I'd go late on Wonder and then switch over to Spider-Man for like an hour or two. And that doesn't sound like what I want to do. But then I thought about it and said, like, okay, well, maybe we should do the other thing, which I suggested at the time, which is, like, maybe we do Mario Maker viewer levels on Thursday, and then do Wonder and Spider-Man on Friday. We're not doing quite that, because I realized at 11 p.m. Central Time, when Wonder comes out, I want to play Wonder that minute. So, what we're doing is we're going to do viewer levels around 8 p.m. Central. At least that's what it says here. Maybe would 9 p.m. be better? Like 2 hours of viewer levels, and then who knows how much Wonder? Probably more like 9. Probably closer to 9 o'clock. But we'll do an hour or two of viewer levels. Probably more like 2 hours. And then when Mario Wonder hits, we'll switch over to Wonder and do a whole, a whole goodly amount of that. And then on Friday, I will do Spider-Man 2. And then when I get bored of that, hey, that's assuming a lot here, but whenever I feel like it, we'll probably switch over to Wonder later in that stream and do a bunch of Wonder as well. Because, shit, man, I'm gonna want to do a whole lot of fucking Wonder, even on Friday, let me tell you. And I'll say, for what it's worth, after these two streams, don't expect to see Wonder or Spider-Man on this channel. My expectation is to play the rest of them offline. I don't want to schedule every time I play those games, but for the first 2 days, the first day and change, I think it is fair to do that on stream and have some, have that recorded for posterity or whatever, You can see my first impressions and relive the magic of day one or whatever the fuck. This could be like my new favorite game of all time. And imagine, just having just, the first time I played that game. Not Spider-Man. Not Spider-Man. No, Spider-Man is not going to be my favorite game of all time. I can almost guarantee you right now, Spider-Man 2, Marvel Spider-Man 2 will not be my favorite. Will not be Game of the Year. No fucking chance of that, but it's quite possible if Wonder kicks enough ass that it might be like, you know, a contender for that top 10 overall. That said, it would have to be extremely fucking good to beat Odyssey for me. But, you know, it has to be Odyssey and also DKC 2. So, yeah, that's gonna be a hard road to hoe, but it's possible. It's possible. That's how excited I am for Mario Wonder. I believe that this could be the best game of all time. Like, just from what I've seen so far, it seems quite plausible. Anyway, that's the plan for this here Thursday and Friday. Usually, Friday would be viewer levels, and Thursday would be something or other. I'll say, you know, next Thursday, the Thursday of next week, is going to be the last Thursday in October. So, expect something a little bit spooky themed. Haven't had the opportunity to do something especially spooky this October. Probably will put in Luigi's Mansion or something and play a whole bunch of that. I don't know. Can you beat Luigi's Mansion in one session? Maybe we'll also do a little bit on Halloween night and like try to like do that in 2 streams or something. I don't know. Just putting out ideas right now. I meant to do a Ghost Trick playthrough this month, but plans ended up being super scrapped for, you know, life-related reasons. And, you know, I would still say, like, hey, maybe next year, you know, maybe Ghost Trick will be an October thing next year, but, who knows? Who fucking knows, right? Anyway, that about, does it for schedule-related updates. Let's play this game. Let's play this game. I'm gonna take a drink of my water. I'm getting a little parched. Alright. So then, where we left off. We just saw Princess Zelda, and we got her to heal Midna, and now Midna's good, but we are stuck as a dog, and there's no more light realm left to liberate. There's no more Twilight realm that's left to turn into regular realm. So we seem to be stuck in dog form. Now, Princess Zelda has realized our conundrum and has given us a suggestion. Her suggestion: go find a sword. That's right, that's what we're going to do. We're going to go find a sword. A sword to stop being a dog. That is the goal tonight, at least. To go find sword that makes not dog. And to do that, we probably should warp. We probably should not walk, but we need to go over to North Faron, was it? Yeah, it's not Ordana. It's like this area up over here. We need to go to North Faron Woods, and we need to do some stuff as a dog to, like, get over to a certain sword. Ooh, very thirsty tonight. So that is what we'll do. By the way, I will say... How do we get there? I will say, recently I've had a lot of streams where I had a lot to talk about, you know. Had been to places, had done things. This weekend, haven't done that much, relatively. So I don't have, like, as many cards prepared as previous streams. You know, I do have a handful of them, a fair amount, but try to be a little bit sparing in how I pull them up. Monkey's just telling us about where we need to go into deeper forest. I need you to do the thing, Midna. Go over there and see what's what. The whole Midna jump thing. Decent idea, but it is just a little bit, you know, contrived as a system. Insofar as, like, you know, why can't you Midna jump right here? Why are you dependent on the puzzle? You know, why cannot we Midna jump from here to the platform we're, like, slowly walking towards? The answer is, the places where you can jump are arbitrary. That's fine. Jesus, we start from all the way back here? As a means of traversal, it makes sense. But, you know, as like a... Honestly, a thing that's very Zelda, right? Like, okay, you lock onto something and then you hit the button to, like, jump to it, but... As far as ideas this game has, this one is just like... Yeah, I feel like Sonic Adventure did it better. Like the original Sonic Adventure. Oh, god damn it. And when you can say that about a mechanic, you know, the Sonic Adventure on the Dreamcast did it better. And made it feel good. Made it feel better. That's not good. That's not good at all. In Sonic Adventure, you could just mash the button. This one I feel like you pretty sure you have to wait until you have like clearance. Until you have like the next target, or else he's just gonna like jump blindly. Which is good. Cool. What? Man, these patterns are complicated. Oh, fuck me. Up, down, but midway. Up, down, midway. Up, down. Can you just do this? That's... You can just kind of do that to cheese it. Okay. We'll do that in the future. We'll just, you know... battleship it, I guess, basically. I realized after yesterday's, after Thursday's stream, totally didn't get the move, that dog form, that we unlocked during the last time we were dog mode. But, to be fair, we were pretty focused on story stuff the whole time we were a human. And, you know, at the end of the stream we were dog again, so it's not like we could do it then. Still, this will be the last time we will be stuck as a dog. So, you know, next time we get into statue, we can just go cash it in. In fact, like, after this whole sequence, maybe we'll just go get those doodads. Here we are in the Sacred Grove. Sacred Grove, it's the Lost Woods. It's a bit of a maze type thing. Gotta sing the song of time to the stone. By the way, I will say, last stream there was a moment where we, at the time, it looked like Link looked down, the buxom bartender's blouse, you know, looked into her cleavage, and right before this stream, I did check to see, like, were we seeing things? And, no, we were not. Absolutely. You can absolutely see in that moment when Link pulls back, he looks down. He starts up looking up, he looks down for a second into her cleavage, and then looks up at her face. Like, you know, within a second. It's a very subtle gesture, but it is absolutely there. No doubt. I suppose, you know, this was their attempt at making the mature Zelda. Maybe that was just part and parcel with it. You know, them trying to be like, oh yeah, Link's a man now. Look at that. He cares about, you know, breasts and stuff. He's not some fucking kid anymore. No, he's an adult. Not only that, he lives in an adult world. Seems weird in retrospect. You know? I feel like the more recent Zelda games haven't had to deal with that sort of knee-jerk weirdo mentality, you know? Like, this game, that moment, almost feels like it was made in response to people reacting to Wind Waker going like, a cartoon Zelda? Oh no! You know? People on message boards in, like, the early aughts. Whereas, like, you know, I feel like now everyone's just comfortable with Link being, like, you know, family friendly and that being cool. In addition to him just being a cool dude who likes to hang out with his lady. And, you know, they find ways to be a little horny, but it's not insofar as, like... In this game, it's horny in that, like, oh, this character has, like, huge bazungas, whereas like in Skyward Sword and not Skyward Sword, that's a bad example. In Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom, they are also horny, but insofar as like, look at this big big Zora, big tall Zora man. Hey, how's it going? Everyone loves this big tall Zora man. And look at this, big Gerudo lady. Were people fond of big Gerudo lady? I'm not sure which Zelda characters people had sexual proclivities for. Were like, you know, fond of. I mean, I guess I do know. Midna. Midna is the character that everyone was into from this game. People don't talk about the buxom bartender quite as much as they do about Midna. The thing about Midna is she has a good personality. You know, she's like a character that you like. I don't think that, honestly, I don't think that the buxom bartender quite has that, like, as locked down as Midna does, you know? What other Zelda characters from Tears of the Kingdom are people weird about? Well, the goat men. People are weird about, what the fuck were they called? About, the goat that lives in your hand, and also, you know, his kin. Were people hot on the lady goats? The lady goats, that's a weird way to put it. Were people hot on those two? On the goat ladies? Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. Anyway. I like it better when when it's like unintentional, you know? When Nintendo has unknowingly made something that the internet finds hot. Rather than them being like, yeah, we know this character, Link's attracted to this character. We know it. Like, it is very obvious. Link's not attracted to this character, Skullman, but Skull Kid. Skullman. By the way, no relation to what we're seeing now. This is cool shit. What do you want? What are you talking about? What? Weird non sequitur there. I really don't like this design of Skull Kid. Probably the worst Skull Kid design there's ever been. Puppets are also not great. Okay, we'll do the thing that's, okay, that worked, yep. Oh. The wolf is like, alright. But it's definitely like a lower tier transformation compared to like Deku. Compared to like the Deku, compared to like the Zora and the Goron from like Majora's Mask. And like, maybe like just insofar as like how unreliable its big moves are, you know? Like, oh, it's like a jumpy thingy that is context sensitive. It's like a big force field thing it does that like auto targets a bit and doesn't work half the time, or like a quarter of the time, you know? But is really strong if it hits. That's gotta be one of the more boring iterations of you know, Lost Woods. Like, we just sort of chase the guy around, hit him a couple times, and then out we come into perhaps one of the cooler places that you go out of the Lost Woods, which is, hey, this here is just the fucking Temple of Time. Let's go get that fucking sword. Hey, it's the Temple of Time. You know what? Part of me didn't know how long this was going to take getting to the Temple of Time. But that was really fucking quick. I think we'll get to the other dungeon. The next dungeon. I was unsure. Like, in my head, you know, fucking... In my head, the Lost Forest, getting the Master Sword, which, by the way, the sword we're getting is the Master Sword. Probably an important detail. In my head, that could have all lasted a whole stream, but I think we're like 20 minutes in and we're already to it. So, yeah, I reckon. This music is weird. This music reminds me of... You know what this music reminds me of? It reminds me of... What the fuck is it called? Rugrats. The Rugrats board game. Doing this right. If I do this, am I gonna get stuck? I feel like I've only made it worse. I've only moved one guy into a more inconvenient position. I need to get where I am ahead of this guy. So let's move down to here. Then move up from here. That'll be how we do it. All right. Okay. Okay, now I got this guy right here. I want to move this guy back. Move them both up one. And I think we've done it. Beautiful. Okay, that's a puzzle. At some point, we gotta play that Rugrats board game on stream. That'll be a fun little stream one of these days. Not anytime soon. All the streams in the immediate future are pretty much spoken for, but definitely one of these days. Cool sword. Let's touch it and see what it does. I'm gonna take a drink. Oh. I'm all out of water now. Gonna have to refill. Hey, it's Link. He's regular human again. Yee. It did do that, yes. Well, he's always had the Triforce on him. From the very start this time. Yeah, what the fuck? Okay. No, we're gonna use it. Yeah, we're gonna keep it. That's right. What's up? Come to follow the Mirror of Twilight. Yes. We will do that. That's the next thing. So now we can transform into a wolf just by talking to Midna. And I do think this is one of the biggest, like, departures. I'll say innovations. I'll be positive. I'll put a positive spin on it. Which is that in previous games, if you wanted to warp or do certain things, you had to equip certain items, or in some cases, play specific songs to do it. And this one, they just said, like, yeah, we'll put it in the fucking menu. Okay, it won't be a big deal. And that was probably correct decision. You know, imagine if every time you had to switch from human to wolf, you had to, pull out an instrument or otherwise start howling like a wolf and going, ooh, doing that whole rigmarole. No, you just hit a button and it's in a menu. Perfect. Very good. I'll say it was novel in those games, in those first few games, and it gave it a sense of, like, whimsy and, like, magic. But after the third time, after, like, around Wind Waker, I feel like it was played out. Especially once you stop being able to just, like, bash it out, and you had to, like, wait for the song to, like, play out. Once that happened, yeah, just put it in the fucking menu. Let's not fuck around here. We're here to go on adventures, not play songs. The one thing I wish about this system is that you could warp and just stay human. I do think it's a little silly that you have to, like, become a wolf. Which I'm pretty sure you have to, right? Yeah. We got... Let's see now. 1 second. There's like a wolf. Let's see for a second. Where's the map? Yeah, there's a wolf in Castletown. Outside Castletown, so that's where we'll go. Alright, that concludes the wolf part of this stream, where we're stuck as a wolf. Now let's go get these... Let's go get these moves that we unlocked earlier. Not sure where we're going next, actually. Like, I know we're going to go to... Arbiter's Field is, like, the next place. But I'm not sure when exactly that happens. Not sure if that happens, like... immediately. Or if we have to unlock a thing. We'll find out. First, though, wolves. A few quick moves. And then we'll work out how we're going to the next area. The next thing, what the next bit of plot is, etc. This wolf is a warrior. I think the other day I was talking about how, like, they could do, like, a game where you meet a bunch of different Links from a bunch of different eras. I guess this is about the closest they've gotten, where a Link from one era has his spirit has, like, persisted around until he meets the one from a later era, and this Link, he has quite a weird getup for being a Link. He's full-on chainmail, heavy weapons, got a helmet. This Link saw some dark times. I don't think I've used the shield attack once since I learned it. Also, worth noting. Forgot I had it, honestly. That's a cool attack. The back slice. Oh, you do like a roll. Not forget to... Okay, proper time. That's a cool move. Sort of like the Wind Waker A-press thing, except it's not automatic. Alright, that makes 3. Let's go get the 4th one. Which is... Go down to Lake Hylia. Have ourselves some time, By the way, I do have cards. We've gone this whole time without pulling one. I'll just go ahead and pull one right now. Microsoft Activision purchase concluded last Friday. Figured, yeah, might as well talk about that again. It's probably still the newest, like, hottest news event that's happened, you know, since, you know, for the last week. I mean, to be fair, things don't usually happen on Saturdays or Sundays. Monday, usually also a slow news day as well, I guess. Well, to be fair, there's been, like, Spider-Man 2 embargo stuff and, like, reviews today, so, you know, it's not like they need news stories, most gaming sites, right just now. Anyway, that finished up. I'll say, you know, it's not a good thing for, like, you know, consolidation is probably not, like, the healthiest move for any industry in general. And the video game industry is, you know, an example of an industry that probably should not be consolidated, but honestly, I kind of doubted that it would go any other way than this. So I just see it as like a relief, you know, like, oh god, it's finally over. You know, finally we know that, yes, Microsoft got all the okays they needed. Just go ahead and do the thing. And, yeah. It's done. What the fuck is this shit? We have to, like, go through the river? Like, go through the river from the other side? Kinda looks like. Oh, I know. I think that's not it. I think it's in like in North Clocktown, or, geez, south. It's not even north. It's, I think it's south of Hyrule Castletown. Let's go there, run through town, and then go south. And I'm not even going to change into a human. I bet that mailman is going to change me into a human for me. And if not, hey, I'll get there faster. What'd I tell you? Fucking cock. Fucking fuck you. Fuck you. Fucking hate this guy. Shut up. Stop that. Let me hit the A button. Why did they make this guy suck so much? He was good in Majora's Mask. He was like lovable and relatable, and in you know, Ocarina, it wasn't bad. Also, again, I forgot for a second, they have the newest ones at the bottom. Again, that's not how inboxes work. Castletown Bar. Oh, jeez. Okay. That's what we're doing next. It's plot time in Castletown. So much... I just want to go to the next dungeon. I don't want to get all this plot bullshit dumped on me, you know? Zelda does not need that much intricate plot. I mean, again, it worked for it worked for Majora's Mask. I guess, you know, it's hard for me to say, like, well, it worked for Majora's Mask, why doesn't it work here? And it's like, well, in Majora's Mask, I like the characters. I don't know. Weird thing. Because, yeah, I guess, you know, it's not like... Story-driven Zelda has worked before. But it doesn't work here. And it doesn't work in Skyward Sword either. I get this, you know, what's down to the specific games. Just down to the specifics of the specific games. And you know what's good about them, what's not good about them. Should be there. Okay, there we have. There's our wolf friend. Not in the river at all. Thought you were in the river, man. Alright, move 4, let's go. What is this one gonna be? Like a super parry? This is gonna be like a low hearts. This is gonna be like a low hearts attack. Yes, I remember this move. You taught it to me 2 minutes ago. The Helm Splitter. Shield attack, then hit A. Again, very much like the Wind Waker A button move that he would sometimes do. I do think it's cool in games like this to learn moves. You know, in games in general, learning new moves throughout the game, that's great. I love Banjo-Kazooie. I love Banjo-Tooie. Both games would be very different if you just started with all the moves from the start. Kind of a passé thing these days, in general. Other thoughts about Microsoft. By the way, I sort of trailed off on that thought earlier. I'm looking forward to seeing as many games as those as possible coming to Game Pass, you know? I will absolutely do a Game Pass stream where I do a bunch of Microsoft games that I've never played before whenever they, you know, see fit to add them. And I also really hope that they just, you know, make use of all that fucking IP and all those teams that have been, like, sidelined to do, like, Activision Call of Duty farm stuff, you know? Like, Jesus, man. Like, let Neversoft or whoever the fuck... Is it Neversoft who did Tony Hawk 1+2? Let him do 3+4. I hope, now that Microsoft is in charge, that 3+4 is in the works. Because that would be absolutely lovely. Oh, that's the bug person. Over-designed. Much clothes. Fancy clothes. Hey, Paul. What's up? How you doing? What if there's a way to get that? I'm not going to concern myself with it. Let's go towards the thing. Anyway... I think with Activision and Microsoft, the only thing I'm thinking about now as far as that is like, yeah, I'm glad it's over. There's some stuff that could come out of it good, I don't know. I guess the question now is like, okay, does Microsoft have another purchase in mind, like, to do next? Because they've been working on this Activision one for a while. There's gotta be more on their list after this. I wonder if they'll be like... Well, we'll see it before too long. Hey, we're about to do some story stuff. It's story time with Telma and Telma's friends.
Oh.
You're doing well, that's great.
Hey.
This is like the Adventure Crew. The predecessor to the cool bunch of people that were running around doing like side quests in Tears of the Kingdom. And was there something like that in Breath of the Wild? You know, the Hyrule Defense League or whatever it's called. This is like the original version of that, and they're not as cool as the ones in in Tears of the Kingdom. Let me tell you. Western Desert. Okay, that's where we need to go next. Also. Hey, buddies.
Hi.
Alright. So, guys over here. And, hey, that's where we need to go next. Huh, I thought that would be a whole cutscene. I thought that'd be a whole fucking cutscene. Oh, this guy's Shad. Someone told me today that Shad should not be underappreciated. You know, I said that all the character designs in Twilight Princess, other than Link, Midna, and the wolf, were kind of bad. People told me that Shad was one I should look at, and you know what? Shad looks pretty good. Shad is certainly better looking than like more pleasing to the eye than a lot of other designs I've seen. I don't know about that hair on that lady. As shy. Weird hair. Have you read any personal developments books? Like self-help books? Not really. No. Maybe as like you know, like a teen, maybe like 20 years ago. You know, before I knew what I was doing in life, question mark? What are you doing here, dude? Okay. Let's go over to, we're gonna go over to the lake, and we're gonna meet this guy, and he's gonna get us to the desert. I really thought that was gonna be a whole deal. How old are you? I'm, 33. But, I guess, maybe more like 15 years ago. You know, when I was a teenager, basically. I probably read, like, a book or two about that sort of shit, you know? These days, I don't put that much stock in that sort of thing, you know? In general, I just see it as, like, a weird hustle, you know? Self-help. How do you feel at 33? Like I know what I'm doing, basically. I think I can figure out, like, anything I don't know what I'm doing on, you know? That's the thing. You can figure out most things yourself in life. If you just, you know, like, give it a shot. Guess how old you are? 28? 28, Paul? 27? Could be younger. Could be older. I don't know. I got a good gauge for that. Yeah, right? Too young, too old. I feel like 27 must be, like, a good midpoint. As far as, like, yeah, some people on the internet are probably older to a lot older. But also some people on the internet are probably younger to a lot younger. You know? To me, 27 seems like the midpoint. Okay, too young. Too young, perfect, okay. You're like me. A little bit on the older side. But not that much on the older side. You see me in the vid, remember? I don't have a good gauge for age. 35? 35? 40? A lot of people who are older than me look younger. And a lot of people that are younger than me look older. I don't know. I've always been told, and I know for a fact, I look young for my age. You know? I don't got a good barometer. Here's some, bits. Aw, thank you. No problem. Thank you for the bits. I love bits. I am a courageous youth. You've likely heard of the strange events. I have. I don't think we know. You got a call to be on? Have fun with that. You're 41? Gotcha. Good deal. Older. That's very cool, man. Hell yeah. I feel like I know what I'm doing at 33. That's how I feel. And I see a lot of people like saying that, you know, been like looking around, you know, I've been trying to look for a new gig, and I see people. I've been looking at LinkedIn a little bit, you know, as you do when you're looking for jobs and such. And there's a lot of stuff like, learn a course or something, or like, oh, get your mindset right or some shit. And it's just like, that's all a hustle. That's all a scam. No, you're good. We all know what we're doing. Come on. You don't need any of that shit. Just tell people how it is, no bullshit, and they'll understand where you're coming from. That's how I see it. What will we do now? Yes, we're gonna go over to the desert and we're gonna find out a thing. What is that emote? Is that an old? Is that like a? Oh yeah, that is a regular an old man face toned light emoji people version of the basic emojis that says like old face basically. Yes, respect your elders. Generally a good idea to do so. I will say, like, as far as like what constitutes like senior roles out there, I do find it a bit strange that like, you know, I have 10 years of experience in the workforce, and from what I can tell, 10 years is about what constitutes senior out there as far as experience goes. And it's kind of funny just in like, there are people out there like 30 years older than I am, you know, that have 30 years more experience. But I guess those people are like on the verge of retirement, so they're not exactly out looking for new gigs. I don't know. In any case, you know, I'm not gonna tell the industry that it's got its goalposts at the wrong place. I'm just gonna say like, yep, okay, yep, senior. That is the role I will, you know, I'll go for. Certainly seems like the one that is, right. Where the fuck do I... Oh, I need to show the person the thing. Got that right here. Alright, let's go. To the deserts. That's where we're going now. I think I'm all out of water. Maybe I'll, go refresh it. Little break, get some water. Doesn't sound like a bad idea. Okay, we're gonna land. I'm gonna take a little break, refill my water, and then desert stuff. Wait, Link. That's right. Hold on, Link. Just a second. I'm gonna go refill my water, and then you can start. Quick break. Alright. Desert stuff. It's time to do desert stuff. We're here in the deserts. And, yeah, some plot here. First off, she's gonna tell us something. What's this about the fused shadows? They're dangerous. I have literally no idea. They were driven into another realm by the goddess. That would be the Twilight realm, yeah. The antithesis of Hyrule, where the sun shines bright. Lowrule? As Genesis became shadows that could not mingle with the light. There's so many, like, alternate realms, I suppose. I feel like I got something in my throat. Kidneys, tonsil stone type thing, you know? Yeah. I'll get through it. A lot of those recently. Twilight Realm, none of it could return. Forever doomed to live in Twilight. We'll be seeing this area later in the game. It's like one of the later dungeons. It's not a spoiler, it's fairly obvious. This is the history of the Twilight, has been passed down. Yeah, you're from there, I gotcha. Yes. It was fairly obvious. Who hadn't figured that out? All the Twilight have been transformed into shadow beasts. Oh, so all the monsters are the inhabitants of the realm. Turned into minions. This is his version of Minions Rise of Gru. Actually, you know what, it's bad metaphor. The minions existed before Gru. Gru did not create the minions. The minions are a force of, like, mischief that have persisted throughout the ages. As per, the Minions movie. Which I have not seen, but I know their lore from it. Is that where it was shown that, like, the minions... I've heard of the minions that they like were frozen in ice or something during the events of World War II because you know, it'd be weird to say something to the effect of, yeah, so the minions worked for Hitler for a while. Like, no, that's bad. That doesn't come off good. You can say they worked for Napoleon, but you can't say they worked for Hitler. No, they missed that one entirely. No, they missed that one. I've heard that much about the minions, which means that I know that this is not quite a minion situation. Slightly different. Though the goddess forbade us to the world, to return the world to light, they left one link. Mirror of Twilight. It's our only path to the Twilight realm. Well, come with me, won't you? Jeez, look at this, like, hand-on-face shit. No wonder the, like, there's a lot of people who are, like, you know, hot for Midna, obviously. Like, this scene has to be, like, pretty high on their list of scenes they think about every day. You know, just, like, you know, Midna, like, lovingly caressing Link's face a little bit. Like, they gotta think about that a lot. Like, on a daily basis. Jeez. Alright, it's desert time. For real. We should probably become a wolf, so we can traverse faster. Cool. Very good. I got more cards. You pull one. And full of more cards. I watched one new anime since the last stream. One of the last of the new anime that there are to watch. This one being a spin-off of Toilet-Bound Hanako-kun, which is about a spirit who lives in a toilet and who gets, like, a cute girl to be his, like, assistant and, like, you know, fighting other spirits and stuff. And it's all very, like, really well... The original show looks amazing, like, visually. And this spin-off seems to be like a slice-of-life spin-off that's just, you know, 10 minutes long. It's a short anime. And also it looks just as good. Like, has a very, like... I want to say, like, a watercolor type look. The whole show is gorgeous. This slice-of-life spin-off seems like it's alright. I don't know. Not really, like, all that impactful as far as, like, slice-of-life hijinks goes, but I don't know, it's nice and it's kind of fun. No issues, no complaints with it. I'll probably, you know, watch all 4 episodes and probably just think they're somewhere between alright and pretty good. You know, at least that's my initial impression from watching the first episode. I'll get in here. Can we talk? No, we can't talk. We need to, like, get one of these bulls. I say bulls. One of these pigs. Looks like... Yeah, okay, we get one of these pigs. Whip my bow. Take them all down. Where'd the other pig go? Alright, get a free pig. Go ahead and charge it into the wall. That'll do. That'll do. Whatchamacallit, Charlotte's Web. That's what they say in Charlotte's Web, isn't it? That'll do, pig. Whole thing, you know. Yes, I know, children's fables. Is it a fable? I don't think it's a fable. I know of that pig, yes. Storybook. Of other anime, I will say. Watched a whole lot of simulcast anime this weekend. Managed to catch up. I had fallen pretty far behind on all that. You know, like, I had managed before last Friday's episode, or sorry, last Friday's stream. Say episode, jeez. Last Friday's stream to catch up on all the new shows, but I hadn't, like, watched, you know, most episode 2s of the shows that I had started the week before, or, you know, any number of other things that, you know, aren't necessarily new shows, so basically I spent a lot of the weekend just, like, watching episode after episode of every show that I had fallen behind on, until such time as I had, you know, watched all of them. And they were like a good couple dozen, because, like, yeah, last week I just really fell very far behind in all those things. And I'll say, you know, I did say on, like, Friday that I expected to cut a bunch of them, you know, just as I was going through, but, you know, honestly, for me, whether or not I cut an anime depends a lot on, like, context. You know, like, what day does it air on, how many other shows are airing on the same day, how busy am I those days, and, you know, when you're watching all of them, like, in random order, without that context, it's hard to really judge. Also, it's hard to do anything but just, like, keep on watching and just move on to the next one immediately without thinking it through, you know? So mostly, the other day, yesterday especially, was just watching a whole goddamn lot of stuff and just moving on to the next one as soon as I finish. God damn it. No shield anymore. I will say, just like small notes, girlfriend continues to be pretty fucking good, but highlight of the season gotta be fucking, I mean, shit, I thought it would be Free Ren. Like, it seems like there's a lot of these guys. I should probably shoot that guy up there, shouldn't I? I thought it was gonna be Free Ren, but let me tell you, like, 100 girlfriends, the 100 girlfriends that really love you, oh my god, that show is hilarious. It's so good. And just the idea that, like, oh, it's a Comey-like show, you know? You're gonna have new characters introduced like every episode or two, in like a frantic pace. But also, they are going to all enter into a romantic relationship with the main character. That's hilarious. And, you know, I'll say like, there's now an OP, you know, an opening theme for that show, and it's fucking good. I don't think it's as like catchy as the ED, the ending theme. OP and ED, those are terms that anime people use to describe an opening and an ending. It's not important why. I don't think it's quite as catchy, but I really love the animation, and it really nails home, like, yeah, the main character, Rentaro, he is really the best possible match for all these girls that he is dating, you know, and somehow manages to be the perfect boyfriend to them all while dating all of them all at once, which is very funny of a joke. And I can't wait to see how this feels when there's like 5 of them running around. Oh, I'll also say, I heard a very good thing that made me very happy. Rumor has it, that the 100 Girlfriends is a 2-core anime. It means like 24, 25 episodes, not 12. Which probably means that like, oh shit, so there's like 5 girls in the OP-ED, right? There's only 5, but, you know, if we're talking like end of the season, fucking who knows, man? There could be like 10 or 12 by the end of the season, you know. I honestly have no clue like how fast it would go, but people are saying like, you know, so if they continue going a chapter an episode, they're gonna leave it in a pretty wild spot. They're gonna have a pretty fucking good, you know, thing at the very end, which definitely makes me excited and also makes me go like, God damn, I hope this gets as many seasons as it needs to get up to 100 girlfriends. And also, I guess I hope that the manga itself is written fast enough where that's like, you know, plausible. I don't know. Fucking love it. There's other good shit as well this season, I'll say. It's not just that. But, you know, Free Ren I mentioned. But goddamn if that's not the one I'm thinking about, you know, day in, day out. And going like, well, goddamn, this is so good. This is hilarious. I like the characters a lot. The comic timing is like so fucking choice. It's good. It's fucking good. Mini boss time. This guy's back. Oh, I don't have a shield anymore, so I can't do that new move that he taught me. The shield bash into a super dodge. Still, this seems to be working well enough. You can swing your sword in a lot more places than you can in previous games. Like in the middle of a jump, for instance. Guess that's because, you know, it's all motion control. It was originally motion controlled in like the Wii version of this game. The fuck is he going? He just left and set the whole fucking thing on fire? That's... okay. That was a smart move. That was a smart thing to do. Ah, fuck this, I'm out. Just gonna go ahead and light it on fire as I'm leaving. Jeez. I really wasn't sure how long it would take us to get to the next dungeon. You know, going in, I almost didn't want to guarantee, like, oh yeah, we'll get to Arbiter's Grounds, but here it fucking is, Arbiter's Grounds. Title card should come up, right? Arbiter's Grounds. This is Arbiter's Grounds. You might recognize it from the location, minor location in Tears of the Kingdom Breath of the Wild. Not really, though, because it's just, you know, a name in that game. Whereas in here, it's a whole dungeon. Arbiter's Grounds, let's go. I really wasn't sure. I honestly thought getting the Master Sword would be a bigger endeavor. And that there might be any number of plot things between us and Arbiter's Grounds. But here we are. Let's go. Let's do it. This is a good dungeon. This is, I hesitate to say, it might be a great dungeon. You know, I'll say with, like, Wind Waker, we managed to do, like, 2 dungeons a stream in some cases. In, like, maybe half the streams. And maybe it depends on, like, if you consider, like, if you consider certain things to be dungeons. Like, Forsaken Fortress and Forsaken Fortress 2. But if you do, like, then most of those streams had 2 dungeons in them. Oh, hook shot. Grapple claw. Ooh, fuck. Get out of here. Moving a whole gamepad around to aim doesn't feel as good as moving a very small Switch controller to aim. It'd be nice if these HD versions came out on Switch. I feel like the ship has sailed for that. I feel like by the time that, you know, they were to come out, the Switch 2 would be already out. Which should be backwards compatible, probably, so, you know, not a big deal, but I don't know, maybe they'll save it for Switch 2. I will say, one more piece of follow-up on anime. I did drop 3 shows. Yesterday wasn't in the place where I felt like I could drop anything because I was just like, you know, trying to get through them all and not really thinking that much about it. But today, on the other hand, once I was caught up, I was able to say, like, I was able to have an actual critical look at Monday and realize, like, oh shit, I have like 8 simulcast shows on Monday. That's way too many. And I decided to drop 3 that I was feeling very, like, mid about. Miggy and Dolly, which was a weird show about a weird pair of twins that seemed to be, like, pretending to be one kid and doing, like, weird conspiracies. And everything is played to be, like, as, like, a creepy horror type thing. It's weird, and morbid curiosity was pulling me forward, but it's not, like... It's not pulling me forward like 8 shows deep. You know, it doesn't hang with that many other shows on Mondays. Shy, feel like Shy has just been very mid. I like the character of Shy and I like her friend, but everything in the plots of that has been pretty mediocre. And also, I'm not sure about the action side of it. It doesn't seem to be that good action-wise, so just decided to go ahead and cut it. Meanwhile, Ron K, Forbidden Deductions. I enjoyed, like, seeing a mystery get set up and a mystery being solved, which is about what that show seems to have. I thought that the part where the guy, like, goes into a trance and then kills the person that he, or, like, tries to hypnotize the person that did crime to death was a really weird thing that I don't really get. But honestly, the thing about that one was just I wasn't feeling very strong about it. And on a day that has like 5, 8 other anime, I feel like I should have to feel a thing about anime to keep it around, so it had to get the boot as well. That leaves just 5 for Mondays, which seems pretty reasonable. And I will say, I did have a look down my list, and I see like 7 other animes on various other days that seem like they are also just like good choices for like further cuts, you know, further drops. But I think I will wait until their days and then, you know, play it by ear. Maybe watch the episode if there's like, you know, not that many other shows to watch, and then you know, go from there. I'll say there's some, you know, it's part of it is bad luck on their part putting their shows on Monday, because it turned out Monday was pretty busy for me, whereas there are days that literally have just one show, like Tuesday, for instance. Tuesday has like one show, and the short show, you know, the spin-off of Hanako-kun, which is only 4 episodes long, so it'll be over within the month, you know. Bad luck on their part, putting it on a busy day rather than a not busy day. I would recommend animes come out on days that aren't super occupied. Which, you know, seems like a small thing, right? Like, okay, well, and I can understand certain days exceptions, right? Like, okay, well, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, yeah, those ones can be a little busier than others. But Monday? Nah. Monday, you can't have 8 shows on Monday. That's ridiculous. I know I am between gigs right now, and I guess I could have 8 shows on Monday, but I'm not going to. I want to have it so that I'm, like, watching fewer shows that make me go, like, okay, I'm just, like, sitting through this, you know? It is silly to sit through shows. You know, that's not a good way to spend your time. Instead, you should watch shows that, like, excite you and make you, like, feel a thing, you know? And that you're happy to watch. I'll say, those 7 shows, they're not guaranteed that I'll drop them. Some of them I'm just, like, kind of okay on, you know? I feel like some of them are like, I'll give them 1 episode, and if that episode impresses me, I'll keep them around. But if it's, you know, kind of just whatever, that'll probably be it for them, you know? They have, like, 1 real shot at, like, sticking around, and that is, like, putting in a good performance in their next thing. That said, there are some where I'm just gonna have to look at it and be like, okay, man, I don't even feel like watching the episode. Goodbye, you know? Sometimes you make choices like that. Sometimes you just say, like, okay, my gut says I don't want to spend 20 minutes right now. I'm just going to trust my gut. It all depends, you know? Sometimes some shows, you want them to be good. Other times, you're like, I'd rather just have 1 less show. I would rather be able to just write this one off and say, like, goodbye. Yeah. No. Not in the mood. All arbitrary. And I'll admit that I'm sure I have passed on anime that if I gave them a shot, I would really like them. And I know for a fact that I have, you know, committed to anime that turns out they were really bad, and I shouldn't have done that because, you know, they were really shit in the end. I have to become a wolf for this. I don't like that design. Nice. Get that pull soul. Gotta pay the pull soul. Want inside that. No, it's a line from a show. No. Always Sunny. I'm gonna stop saying lines. It's tempting to do so, I know. I got the pose sent. Weird that you have to forget sense. Seems like you should just be able to remember many scents as you want. Like songs in previous games. And then they could all be different colors, you know, and it wouldn't necessarily, like, overlap. Or even, like, hey, how many of these are going to be in the same location anyway? Maybe it could be equipable. Well, let's become a human. Let's play as a human here. Let's be honest here, we don't need to be told where the things are. Well, you know, we do on some level, but look, we're just going to explore the dungeon like normal style. And, we're gonna explore the dungeon wherever we find the stuff. And wherever we find that we can go next is where we're gonna go next. We can just, like, you know, do the normal dungeon thing of, trying every door, seeing where it leads, figuring out where we have to go next, etc., etc. Not complicated. Other things. I finished Chants of Sennaar. I'm not really sure whereabouts I feel on it. It's either a 4 out of 5 or a 5 out of 5. Chants of Sennaar is that game where you, like, decode a language. It looks kind of like this, where the languages are, like, you know, made out of individual symbols which represent words. Some of them have, like, weird grammatical properties, which is interesting. And also you learn, like, 5 different languages and have to, like, translate between them, which is all very neat. I did think that the stealth parts of that game were unfortunate. Like, could have used the stealth to not be there. But it was fine, it was fun. And I really did enjoy just about every part of, like, putting together the languages. If I had to say, I would probably err on the side of a 4 out of 5. Like, again, the stealth stuff was a little awkward. There are times where I had to, like, look up solutions because I was just totally lost and didn't know where to go next. And, you know, there is some adventure game type bullshit insofar as, like, not only, you know, decoding the language is not enough, you also have to figure out, like, okay, which of these, like, dozen rooms that I can walk through has what it is I need to interact with, you know, or, like, the path to the room that I need to go to. If, say, for instance, I just had not been to the right room. And also, backtracking itself can be pretty much a pain in the ass. Because, again, the rooms can be like a solid walk away from each other, which is unfortunate. Again, though, the whole part where you decode languages is fucking cool. And, I definitely, you know, of course, there are games that have alien languages in them that you decode. You know, you could say Tunic, for instance, even has that. Or, you know, Workaround. Tunic is different in that you're never actually required to understand the language. It just helps to do so. You know, Fez, any of that. I'll say this is the only time where I have actually decoded the language in question and enjoyed the process of doing so thoroughly. Which is a pretty good thing, but, I would say the issues that hold it back a good deal. What is the deal here? I'd recommend it. I'll just say it's like, you know, it has some parts that are very adventure gamey. Insofar as, like, yeah, you know, there's some logic that you'll have to figure out. Some steps that are not really intuitive, even after you understand the whole language. But, you know, if you're willing to, like, put up with it or, you know, look up a guide, very good. And I'll say I found it, like, hard to put down. And was definitely the game I found myself returning to over the last 2 weeks. I'll say I also, like, you know, recently got Disney Illusion Island, and that is not as good. No, I don't think I'll finish that. No, it's just not very good, and also, yeah, Wonder is out this Friday, so, like, yeah, once Wonder is out, like, I am almost certainly never going to play the Disney Metroidvania platformer ever again. Is this a good hole? Oh wait, we got a key, didn't we? Did we get a key? No, I don't see a key on our thingamajig. I got a feeling we need to switch into Wolf. Is it gonna be like a tunnel or like something buried in one of these rooms that we have to unbury? I bet you there's a key in like the room on the left or something. Oh, wait a minute. Chest right there. What do you want to bet that has a key in it? I mean, I bet people know if it has a key in it or not, but I don't know. I wish Wolf could just open chests. I feel like that wouldn't be that hard. That wouldn't be that weird for a wolf to open a chest. I feel like with a transformation, you shouldn't have to switch back and forth until you actually need to, like, do something gameplay-wise. Switching back and forth just to do something, strictly normal feels weird. Shit, neither of those were our key. I guess there's probably gonna be stuff buried, isn't there? So they probably didn't want to, like, give you the compass that early, for instance. Or else it's just going to give away where all the keys are buried. If there are buried keys. One more thing that I've been, like, working at that I realized after Friday's stream, I totally just didn't mention at all. As far as, like, updating where I'm at with that. Which is that... Next card. I've been rereading / re-listening to book 1 of the Cinder Spires series, which is just one book so far, but there's another book coming up next month. The Aeronaut's Windlass. That is... It's a book by the guy what makes the Dresden Files, Jim Butcher, which is a series I very much like. I also very much like his other series that he finished ages ago, Codex Alira. But this one, I'll say, like, rereading the first book of it, man, my impression of it has not really improved. So the basic idea is great, I will say. You know, it takes place in, like, a weird world where everything is, like, takes place in, like, giant spires that, like, rise up into the sky, which is cool, and there's, like, airships and stuff that are, like, vaguely steampunk, but also, like, powered by magic crystals, which they have, like, a weird engineering component to them, where it's, like, almost like Star Trekian, you know, where they're, like, rerouting power to and from things in order to, like, you know, make good effects or whatever. And that's all very cool. You know, it's also kind of cool, like, from just, like, a setting standpoint that they have, like, laser crystals. They have crystals that can produce, like, laser beams, which is kind of cool, I will admit. The thing where it becomes, like, less cool is just in, like, the world is kind of, like, Victorian in nature. It's, like, kind of like Victorian high society would be the vibes I would describe, and the book just kind of spends a lot of time expounding on the politics and the like, structure of their society, right? You know, there's this whole passage I think of in particular where it's like right before a duel or something, with just like one character who's a little older explaining to a younger character like, ah, well, let me explain like why exactly duels are a necessity in our society. How like, you know, getting rid of them would actually be more bad than good. You know, here we go, we finally found the thing. And it's just like kind of tiresome to read like page after page of like weird, just like kind of eccentric philosophy, you know, and like political philosophy from another world, or not even political at all times. Like there's like a weird wizard type character who just like talks about the nature of things, and like, oh, you know, like it just talks about like the nature of things, very much in abstract, which is like, yeah, I guess this is interesting, I guess, but I'm looking at, I feel like I've already listened to like 10 hours of this, and I'm looking at the thing, and it says there's 10 hours left in this audiobook, and I'm just like, pick up the pace a little bit. I just want to see an airship battle and find out what's up with like, you know, want to find out what's up with, the ground, you know, with the rest of the Earth, which seems to be like covered in a mysterious fog, which is kind of cool, but there's like so much exposition, it's killing me. It's killing me. The Wind Knot's Arrow Glass, I would say, like, maybe one of my least favorite books of this guy's. And I guess it makes sense then. I've, you know, never had the chance, taken the opportunity to, like, rewatch it. I feel like I have to jump through there or something. I can't get out of here. And, can you, like, give me a place to jump off? Is this where it started? Oh, okay, you know what? We have a key now, so... Wait, what if we could use... You think we could use, like, the grapple hook to get up there? Maybe Midna's not giving us a thing because we can just grapple hook our way out there. Up there. Try that real fast before we leave. If that's the case, I'm not seeing it. I'll finish rereading that book. Maybe my opinion will change as we get to, like, an actual big climax. I'll say, like, there is some fun war stuff going on, but there's so much of, like, you know, explaining the politics and the, like, the way everyone on all sides thinks. And at some level, I just want a basic action story about an airship pilot, you know? I don't necessarily need to see every side of the war. I don't need to see, like, oh, here's what the bureaucrat who's leading the opposition thinks. Here's what the, you know, the enemy captain thinks. Here's what the weird wizard thinks. You know, it's just like, I don't need all these different perspectives. I think that's one thing that makes, like, his main series better than any of the side series. It's like, you know, they're not bogged down by a million perspectives. It just has one perspective, and, you know, by you know, the benefit of being the only one, it also happens to be the best one. You know, whereas with any of these other books, there's always going to be an A story that's you're interested in, and a B story that's like, oh, this one's okay, and a C story that's like, can we not with these chapters, honestly? I feel like these chapters, we could do something else. Give me more with, like, you know, the captain or something, you know. More interested in their captains than, like, the inner musings of cats. Let's say. Which, yeah, I will say, that's the thing in the Cinder Spires, is that the cats can talk, and they're, like, regular cats, but, you know, people have figured out, like, how to understand a language that apparently they have. But that's, you know, not really a big deal. It's just a thing that they have in the world that's not terribly, you know, expounded on. More of a bit of set dressing, I suppose. Again, I'll finish rereading. We'll figure out, like, how I feel about it by the end. And I'm optimistic that the second book will be better. Hey, you know, if I had to say, like, what I'm looking for that second book, I'll say, well, I would like to see another Spire, I guess. You know, I don't know what you could do with a second book if it doesn't go someplace new. And by someplace new, I would honestly like it to be, like, not some place that's barely mentioned in the first book. You know, if it's just, like, going to the enemy Spire of, like, you know, the enemy, the Spire of the enemy that's a big enemy in the... Oh, I bet we have to stand here or something. I feel like that's going to be a little underwhelming. I guess I don't know, like, how that series, like, goes places. Or, like, you know, has big arcs. You know. A strength of each of like, Jim Butcher's books is each of them tends to stand on their own and have, like, you know, a premise that is, like, different from any of the other books. You know, like, each of the Dresden Files books has, like, a very distinct scenario. Each of the Codex Alera books deal with a different phase of the main character's development. You know, up the chain of command, up the chain of, like, you know, becoming more and more of someone to, like, take note of. But what exactly is the arc with this new series that there's only one book of? I have no idea. Like, is it just gonna be, like, different towers? If it is different towers, like, how exactly are the towers, like, distinguished, right? Are they going to be distinct? Are some of them going to go down onto the planets? Into, like, the dangerous areas? I'm not really clear. And I'm hoping that this book, like, this next book that he is doing really gives me a good idea of that. I don't know, though. I like these little skeleton dudes. They're funny. Tiny skeleton guys. I don't think there's ever been, like, small skeletons like this in any of the other games. Like, they're too small to be, like, bokoblins. Or, like, the little ones from Wind Waker. That's a Gibdo. Hey, Tribucket, what's up? That's right, it's Twilight Princess. That is what this is. We're in, like, the 4th dungeon right now. That's pretty nice. This dungeon has a really good item. I'll say that. This game in general, these dungeons that are in this game, they have pretty good items. That's one of the best things about this game. One of the worst things is, like, you know, what comes between the dungeons, but never mind that. Also, hey, I can transform into a wolf freely now. Pretty okay. Important for solving puzzles and such. How you doing, Tribucket? Hope you're having a good Monday. We have to kill these guys, these ghost guys, by the way. That's what we're doing in-game right now. Playing some Armored Core. How far you gotten in that? I'm like at chapter 3, I think chapter 4 or something. Haven't been playing that much recently. You might be passing me by now. Oh, you're also in chapter 3. Right. What's the last thing that happened for you? Because I might be in chapter 4, actually. I'm not sure. You tell me, and I'll tell you if I'm probably ahead, still by a bit. I don't want to spoil anything in that game, I'll say. It is a very fun game, though. You beat 2 mechs in a 2-in-1 fight? Yeah, I remember. I did that relatively recently. That one was really hard. I had to build, like, a real... I built a tank mech for the first time and just used my health to get through that fight. That's how I managed to do that one. It's the one where when they beat you, they say like, and I guess I'm being presumptuous. I don't know if they beat you. It's the one where then they beat you. They say like, yeah, the scout's reports was incorrect. We have to double check that. You know, unless you kill one of them, at which point they say like, ah, damn, it sucks that we lost, you know, Bill, but job's done at least. I'm covered by invisible rats. That's the one? Yeah, that one took me for a while. It took me a lot of tries. Honestly, part of me was like, okay, have I gotten to my limit yet? Is this where I end? But I was able to push past it. I'm like a little beyond that. Like maybe 1 or 2 missions. Hence. I got a few more cards. Let's pull one. Looking forward to Marvel's Spider-Man 2. Friday. That's coming out Friday. Like I've said earlier, the plan is for Spider-Man and Wonder to do a stream. I'm going to do Wonder on Thursday night. Also Mario Maker up until when Wonder comes out. I'll do Spider-Man, though, on Friday afternoon. And also probably a little more Wonder, you know. But I'll say, Spider-Man, the reviews have come out. I have seen people talk about it. And it seems pretty good. People are saying pretty good things about it, you know. Honestly, it doesn't sound like anything unexpected. You know, it sounds like exactly what you would expect based on the first game, based on Miles Morales. It's basically another game in that vein that is as long as the first game. Which, honestly, you know, I guess I'm between opportunities, between jobs right now, so, like, if anyone can play an entire, like, Spider-Man-sized game, I guess it's me, but I still would have liked if it hewed closer to, like, Miles Morales in length. Really liked Miles Morales, the length of it. I'll say I found Miles Morales, like, his combat style to be less satisfying than the combat stylings of Peter Parker in the first game, but the length of that game was nice by comparison, you know? And I have heard some things that are concerning to me, if I'm being honest. Like, I think I've heard people say, like, Mary Jane missions are back, and there's other stealth stuff that is, like, just as tedious, which, oof. I really didn't like that in the first Spider-Man. If I'm being honest, you know, if you were to look in my, like, big list of games, I don't think I've actually re-reviewed it for Backlogged yet. I really need to find some time for that in the near future to, like, finish, to, like, get my backlogged on track. And, you know, since I'm between gigs, it shouldn't be that hard to find time. Anyway, I'll say, like, when I... Oh, wait a minute. I should have went for the chest right now. Yeah. Okay, we'll go for the chest now, and then we'll do the second thing. I'll say I think my review of Spider-Man, the first one, was a 4 out of 5, because I was just so put out by those like stealth missions and those parts that were just simply not fun. And to hear that those are back just makes me go like, why? Why can't it all just be fun, web-slingy, good times, you know? Why do you gotta take pictures or stealth or whatever? Oh, that was not a thing anymore. There's no more Miiverse. Camera's being weird. Anyway, I'll say I'm very interested in Spider-Man 2. I think that'll be a perfectly good, fun time. If I had to say, like, how strongly I expect to feel about it, I would say I don't expect it to be in my top 10 for the year, necessarily. You know? I expect it to be a competent game that's, if I have room, might be on the list. I don't know. I would feel more confident about saying, like, Chants of Sennaar, maybe, for number 10. It would be, like, a more likely deal for, like, number 10. Why is that guy not turning into smoke? I think this is a clue. Dude, I was about to blow you up. There we go. That's what we wanted. I mean, I'll say as far as Game of the Year goes, there are still a lot of games that that are, you know, coming out this year that could absolutely make the list. And also, in addition to that, like, there are a number of games that I passed up with the intent of, like, you know, waiting for a Switch version that I could see picking up, you know, with the intent of seeing if they make my list. I don't know, though, if that makes sense, like, from a financial standpoint. Like, I would rather wait until they get a Switch version, like, of, like, Pizza Tower or, you know, all those various indie games that would be great on Switch, you know? There are other ones as well that I wrote down at some point. I mean, I could say I have them, like, right here on my phone. Let me see. Where the fuck is it? Games to keep an eye out for. Pizza Tower, Friends vs. Friends, or that's like a weird shooter type thing. Sort of like with cards and stuff. 9 Years of Shadows. It's supposed to be like a Metroidvania. Okay, those are the three I have written down. There might be others, I don't know, that I'm not thinking of. And also I didn't write down. Huh? What? Eh? Okay, there's a wrong light to light. Okay. Okay, you know what? I got an idea. I bet we have to turn into a wolf and use our good sense. Okay. I bet you this is it. Just did a great tower defense-like mission in AC6. Fantastic. I think you might be at the point where I am now. There's like 5 missions or something that are open to me. And, yeah, I think I took like one of them on and gave it a go. I really need to get back to that. I've been, like, not in the place to play Xbox games for a bit. And, you know, there's new games coming out in the very near future that are going to be, like, my new thing for a bit. You know. So I should probably get back on the AC train. I will say, Armored Core 6, I expect that to be on my top 10 of the year. Even if I, you know, say, end up not finding, like, all the time in the world to play it. I gotta have a Poe like this. What's the clue? Oh, well, that's obvious. The one I can attack turn blue. Watch for the blue. Again with the obvious blue. Ah, but I missed anyway. I'll say I'm looking forward to, God damn it. Z targeting. I hate bosses and mini-bosses where you just have to wait for them to attack for like 5 minutes. That's ridiculous. Just let me attack you. And you know, if you want to make it dangerous, like when I go into attack, sure, like, attack me back or something. But this waiting for like 12 minutes until a vulnerable phase is just ridiculous. Alright, that's the second to last of the Poes dealt with. Is this the way we came? Yeah, this is the way we came. So the other way must be the way forward. Let me do another card. Mario Wonder, Super Mario Brothers Wonder. It comes out on Friday, but more actually, Thursday, 11 p.m. That's the one I'm really excited for right now, as far as games that are coming out in the very near future. Like, Spider-Man 2 will be a reliably good time, but man, Wonder... I'm so excited for that, like... It just looks so damn good. I expect it to be, like, Game of the Year type quality, you know, and it's got some tough competition for that top slot, you know. I'll say, like, Tears of the Kingdom is very much the game to beat for the last couple of years, even, I would probably say, you know. Like, Tears of the Kingdom is the type of game where if someone said it was the best game of all time, you'd say, like, yeah, I can see it. I can see that. Yeah, yeah. That's a good choice, hey. You know. And Pikmin 4, I will say, is a pretty tough, you know, is you know, one to beat as well, insofar as, like, the number 2 slot, right? Like, obviously, I'll say, I really love Pikmin 4. I don't think it makes the number 1 slot, but for number 2, man, I like to see it up there. But Wonder, I feel like, with everything I've heard, with everything that's been said, the amount of variety that they're, like, baking into every level, into all the power-ups and all the, like, equipment systems, like, all that stuff makes me think, like, oh yeah, I can see this topping, like, Pikmin. Which, you know, to be clear, is probably about as good as a Pikmin game can be. It has, like, a little bit of everything that a Pikmin game's got. Yeah, I realized earlier, by the way, that the hookshot target was on the pillar, so... I was, you know... That's how we figured out how to get back up here. again, I think it's weird that there's no, like, contextual thing. There are cases where Wolf should be able to get up somewhere, except that there's another way to get up somewhere, which is actually the way the game expects you to do. That's a little weird, but whatever. Using a sword when running around is weird in this game, you know. You don't have to plant your feet. Guess that's been a thing since then. Since here, you know. With, like, sorting being on, like, Wiimotes and stuff often enough. I'm really curious in Mario Wonder, like, how fast that's gonna open up, right? Like, how fast we get, like, Glide, for instance. How fast, like, Glide is available to us, or how fast the grapple hookshot is available to us. Like, all that is just really exciting to me, you know? I can't wait to mess around with different equipment and different loadouts and do all that business. And to find, like, all the Wonder Seeds in each level and to, you know, presumably complete each level, like, twice, maybe. You know, once with and once without Wonder Seed. I assume you're gonna want to play it both ways, right? Like, to see both sides of the experience, rather than just a single side of it. You know? Yeah. It's gonna be so good. And let's not forget, it is a Strand game. You know, we will be helping each other out as we play Mario Wonder and, like, you know, doing, putting checkpoints and levels for each other. I'm not so sure about that myself. Like, I'm not sure if I'm going to, like, actually want to engage with that system, right? Like, it seems to me like part of the challenge of a Mario game is that when you die, you go back to a checkpoint. But maybe it'll be fun to play it like that. I don't know. I feel like I would like to help people out, but I would not really like to receive the help, you know? Like, it'd be fun to put down markers and put down standees and stuff. But as far as actually, like, using the standees, I don't know. I feel like I'd be cheating myself. Maybe that's silly. Maybe that is silly. Bucket, have you thought about what you're going to do with the standees? I will also say, for what it's worth, there are people out there who have, like, you know, Super Mario Brothers Wonder has leaked, so there are people, like, you know, actively talking about it on Discords and on the internet. I am studiously avoiding such people. And, also, if, you know, if anyone wants to hear what I think of such people, I would say, is it so hard to wait fucking 4 days? Come on. Just wait fucking 4 days and play it with the rest of us. You know, the only ones whose opinions I'm going to listen to before, you know, before, like, the 20th, before October 20th, is, reviewers, who are officially allowed to play it, you know. As far as, non-reviewers go, like, nope. No one gets to play it. I'm not acknowledging that anyone has played it until, you know, the game is actually out and I can play it. As far as I'm concerned, when I stream it on, you know, on Thursday night at 11 p.m., that's going to be the first time that anyone in America other than, like, reviewers will have had legal access to the game. Which is true, but, you know, well, obviously, like, people in the UK and such will have had it before, but never mind that. Not important. Also, that's how it always works, you know? The important thing is, I get to play it as soon as I humanly can. And, you know, if anyone wants to say, I guess I'll look and see what people are saying, like, you know, who are in time zones before me. You know, like Europe and stuff. Like, I'm okay hearing what those people say. But anyone who, like, jumped the line and got all weird about it, like, yeah, don't do that. Also, you could just not say it. Also. Like, back in my day, when we stole something, we didn't talk about it. You know? We just, like, sealed our lips and didn't say a word. And, you know, if there was a nod and a wink, you know, that's one thing. But being all flagrant, fuck that. No. I have heard another thing that there is. There is apparently demo kiosk in, like, stores and stuff. No intention in checking that out. That seems silly. You know, I don't need to get a demo of it necessarily. I'm just gonna wait until it's on my Switch and I can just play it. You know. I mean, it's on my Switch, I just can't play it. It's downloaded, you know? Also, Spider-Man 2 is also downloaded. Again, Thursday night we'll be playing Mario Maker until such time as Wonder comes out, then we'll switch over and do a whole bunch of Wonder. There's a raid from Lord Bowser. Hey, Lord Bowser, how's it going? Thank you for the raid. How's it going? Thank you. Lord Bowser does some streams and stuff. I've known him for a while. Does a lot of viewer levels for me. Hello, Bowser. How was your stream? Let me do that, that slash shout out. Lord Bowser 13. There you go. I'll give you the other type of shout out too. Lord Bowser 13. Mario Kart. Playing Mario Kart. Damn good game. How do I get over there? Oh, I bet we have to do wolf stuff here. I bet that's it. How's your Mario Kart? I don't know what people do when they do Mario Kart streams. You just play the online. You just play like the online, basic online match thing where, you know, you have to, everyone picks one of 4 tracks and then it randomly chooses. Yep, gotcha. I've done that a bit, and I know that another streamer I like who, you know, is sort of on again, off again as far as streaming goes. Not sure he's had a stream in a while, though. Not Lord, that's you. But Judo You Know also does streams like that, which can be very fun to participate in, I'll say. Just, you know, join his game and all. What am I doing wrong here? For those who don't know, for anyone who doesn't know, like, who I am, let me say, I am a Mario Maker streamer. That's sort of my main thing. Usually do that on Fridays. This week, slightly different schedule on account of Mario Wonder. Going to do it on Thursday until such time as Mario Wonder comes out, and then we'll switch over to Wonder, you know? That'll be pretty good. And then on Friday, I'm gonna play that new Spider-Man game that's coming out on Friday until such time as I feel like, you know, I've had my fill on, we're ready for more Wonder, at which point we'll do some more Wonder as well. Definitely want to play a whole fuck ton of Wonder, you know, in the next week or so. And I'll say again, I don't intend on, like, streaming that much Wonder, relatively. Just, like, my first couple days with it, you know, my first day or two. I don't want, you know, my entire... I don't want to have to schedule out every time I play Mario Wonder. Like, that's silly. You know? Like, I'm expecting to love that game. And I expect I will want to just basically be playing that forever and ever and ever. Let's... What we need to do, we need to look at the goddamn map. Go into this hole. Okay, so I need to get over there, I think. Okay, kinda looks like the only way over there is to, like, do the thing. Oh, wait, there's a door at the bottom of the shaft. Maybe we need to go back into the shaft, go to the bottom, and maybe go through a door. That kind of looks like what the deal is. Okay, let's do that real fast. Door should be this way, so... You know what? Last time we were here, we rised. The shaft went up. This time go down, and there's the door. Brilliant. Okay, good. How was the Mario Kart? Were you successful? Did you win a lot? I don't know. I'll say whenever I play Mario Kart, I don't really worry about, like, ranking and stuff. You seem like you actually do keep track of, like, what your numbers are. I think you were saying that you were, like, going for a certain number or something. Like, you were trying to get to some certain ranking. All that is... All that is relatively, like, meaningless to me. That's just all lost on me. I just don't pay attention to that number at all. And I'll say, like, I haven't played that much, so whenever I do play, it's like everyone's number is, like, 1,000 times higher than mine. Just because, you know, I literally have not played that much of the online mode. So I played enough of it that I'm pretty familiar with it. You know, just on occasion. Just from playing it whenever I feel like it, you know? Alright, this looks like the way. Get this fucker. I like how this guy can recognize that I'm the same guy as I am in wolf mode as in human mode. That's a fun trait for him to have. He is like a weird bird and all. You know, the difference between a wolf and a human, I guess, is like lost on him a little bit. Weird bird man. Or otherwise, he's more sensitive to such things than most are. You know, he's more of a vibes-based being, perhaps. I think I have to kill these guys. Let's kill guys. Gotta transform into a human. Easier to do this. The sand sucks. Oh, I'm also covered in ants. Got to quit my bomb. Make sure these guys get blown up. Bomb for you. Perfect. Double. Very good. I still have more cards, by the way. I'll totally pull one of them. Talk about what's on it. For those who don't know, I tend to have things written on cards that I, you know, would like to talk about, and these just serve as reminders of things to talk about. When, you know, otherwise the conversation would die out, let's say, for instance. And I'll say again, I don't have that much of them tonight, so sort of taking my time with them, but I have this one which says, I'm really looking forward to the Super Mario RPG remake. Kind of forgot about that one when I was talking about, like, upcoming games last stream, but yeah, you know, that's another game that's gonna come out in the next month or two, and I'm expecting it to be pretty good. Looking forward to everything I've looked at of it. Everything I've looked at of it. Everything I've seen of it looks great. And, I betcha it's gonna be real damn good. You're almost to 20k VR. See, I just don't know what the versus ranking thing. I don't even know what milestones people are into. There's a mini boss. Let's fight the mini boss. Cool sword. This is a very cool mini boss setting. Cool cursed sword. Just like planted into the ground. Let's fucking go. How do you kill a sword? Okay, I'm trying to stab this sword. It's not working. Oh, could it be that there's a ghost holding the sword or something? Ah, shit, there's a ghost holding the sword. That's not as cool. Cursed swords are cool. Yeah, this guy's alright, actually. Hang on. This is a cooler looking ghost than the other ghosts, I'll say that much, but I kind of liked it when it was just a sword. I feel like we need to be human again. And like maybe play like tennis with this guy. I can't Z target. No, this is absolutely not a tennis situation. What is the deal? You know, last episode, last stream, the Zora Queen mentioned that all their Zoras were buried in the Kakariko graveyard for some reason. Which is weird because they don't live in Kakariko. Now we're here, and it's clear that, like, oh, there are totally other graveyards. Like, this whole area is a total other graveyard. No. It's not clear to me, like, why. Is that... Wait, was that it? We just had to wait for this fucker to, like, fucking come down? Oh, man, that sucks. Shitting me. Did we just have to, like, stand here for 10 minutes? God damn. Oh, maybe we can, like, shoot him with arrows or something. Let's try that. Oh, that works. Not thinking with my items, I guess. Okay, well... Arrow and then woof. That's what we need to do, I think. Maybe not. Arrow's definitely correct, but that did not look like a woof situation when that guy went down on his knees. Okay, yeah, sword will do the trick. And yeah, this definitely feels like more of a sword situation. than like a wolf one. Definitely a sword situation. Now this is a dog situation. Again, I'll say, really excited for, really very interested in Mario RPG. I'll say, like, I've never been that big a fan of Mario RPG, but what they've shown looks really damn good, and I will say I already pre-purchased it with my voucher, with a voucher. I'm not sure if I pre-purchased WarioWare, actually. I thought I did, but come to think of it, the other one I bought with the Wonder one was RPG, so maybe I don't have access to WarioWare quite yet, but I'll probably pick that up. I don't know. Here's the spinner. Very good. Spinner's a great fucking item, I'll say. The little thing that you jump on, and it can, like, it can't go up like stairs, but it, like, will slot into these fun socket things on the wall and just slide along them. Very cool. The spinner is definitely one of the cooler items in the Zelda series, in the Zelda franchise. And, like, one of the most unique ones as well. I called the last VOD of this, support your local graveyards, based on a thing I said regarding that whole Zora situation where they were buried at a graveyard of a town they didn't live in. In retrospect, this stream here, where the dungeon is a literal graveyard, might have been the better one to have a graveyard-related pun. A graveyard-related gaffe be the title of. Oh well, live and learn. Doesn't matter. It's not really a big deal. Multiple VODs could have graveyard-related gabs be their name, I guess. I'll think of something else for this. Oh, this door closed behind us. We can't go this way. One thing I'll say about this game, in a couple places especially, not every dungeon item gets used a ton after its dungeon. Which I do think the spinner is not the case with the spinner. I think the spinner does get used a handful of times. But there are other items where they're used spectacularly well within a single dungeon, and unfortunately just sidelined thereafter. Kind of a shame whenever that happens, but what are you gonna do? Okay, we need to go this way. Go over here. I have a couple of more cards. My thing. Speaking of Mario RPGs, I will say, you know, as near as RPG is, personally, I'm probably more excited for TTYD Remake, considering that it is a remake of one of my favorite games of all time. Like just the fact that they're not screwing it up, that they're doing it right, that they're doing it justice, and it looks pretty goddamn good. That for me is just very, very, very cool. I'm really looking forward to that. Especially, you know. A lot more than I am Mario RPG, which again was never really my jam in the first place, you know. I can't spin. I need to not get hit if I want to spin. It's fun to spin. Hell yeah. Ooh, and you can fast spin sometimes. Look at this. Fast spinning. It's cool. Like a top, you know? Chest. Gotta get the chest. This will probably be nothing. Piece of heart. You know, next to nothing. I mean, I appreciate filling up a heart container. You gotta time that. Anyway, excited about TTYD. I'm gonna play, you know, RPG. Probably have a good time with it. Probably the best time I've ever had with that game. Let's be honest. Like, again, was not really big on it the last couple times I played, but I bet when I play it this time, I'm probably gonna be a lot more fond of it. I was the first time, but TTYD, it's already one of my favorite games. It's going to remain one of my favorite games. Except now it's going to be like HD and stuff. That's going to be damn good. Spinning thing is fun, jeez. Boss key, that's what this is. Another card. Persona 5 Tactica. Tactics game based on Persona, November 17th. I think that is the same date as RPG comes out, I will say, which is a bit daunting now that I've realized that, but I'll say Persona Tactica probably has the priority. Really looking forward to that. I love Persona 5. And tactics games are, you know, sometimes fun. I don't play that many of them, but what those I do play, I think are fun. And this one certainly looks like a good time. I'll say, compared to the other Persona 5 spin-offs that they've done, this one looks like more... I'm more interested in this one than I have been for, like, others. So, you know, I need to put that fairy in a bottle. Just like jump down there. I'll say Persona 5 Tactica. I'm really looking forward to it. I bet it's gonna be good. I'm really curious like how much story they're doing for that, or it's just gonna be like, you know, or not story precisely, but I'm really curious, like, if there's gonna be, like, multiple areas and multiple worlds and multiple, like, palaces to go into. Or if it's just gonna be, like, one single one. You know, like a big one. I'm open for multiple. It's more fun to me in a game to have, like, multiple worlds, you know? Just in general, like, you want a bunch of those rather than just one generic one, you know? And Persona is better when there are multiple than when in spin-offs it's just like a single one. And, you know, on account of it just being like a silly little spin-off. I didn't see this. It's like a spinny rail on the bottom here. Okay, do this. The other way. Here we go. It's gonna lead us up to the boss. Boss room, let's go. I will say, I'm looking forward to other games, of course, as well. You know, like, there are other ones coming out pretty soon here, like Alan Wake 2, WarioWare, mentioned before, and a handful more. Like indie games that I don't know if they're going to come out on Switch this year, but I would really like it if they were. If they would, but we'll see what's going on with all that in the future. We've made really good time this stream. I'll say, like, going in, I didn't expect to... Honestly, I didn't know if we could get to this temple at all, and yet here we are finishing it, like, 2.5 hours in. Like, that's... Last time it took us until, like, the 4-hour mark, 5-hour mark, to finish the 3rd dungeon, just because of how much Twilight stuff there was between, like, you know, before we even got to the goddamn dungeon. I guess this game is speeding up a little bit at this point. You know, in this, there's no more Twilight realm to do. There's no more grapes. That's all done. And, maybe between each dungeon there's gonna be less time. I'll say, like, at this point, I am wondering, like, should we truck on? Should we go for... Is the Temple of Time the next one? If we could go do the Temple of Time, that would be extraordinary. That's like my favorite. That's like my favorite of the temples, I think. This is also, by the way, a really good boss. It's all like, it's all with the spinner. And it's all just like going through this middle area and like spitting into his vertebrae. It's so cool. It's very cool. And, you know, they're gonna come up with some like crowds for us to get around. Good shit. And this is only the first phase, even. There's like another phase here that's gonna be fucking super cool once that happens. Let me tell you. Go. Excuse me. Dang it. Need to spin. I think I need to die here because I can't spin anymore. I need to, like, void out. I assume this is gonna not kill me. Yep, okay, good. Oh wait, it did seem to reset the boss. Okay, so void out, bad. Void out, very bad. I'll do another card. We'll say, I have some ideas in mind for the second stream anniversary. That'll be like 2 weeks from now, a little over 2 weeks from now. I have, like, you know, now gotten them, like, written down a little bit. You can see them right here. Plan is to do Banjo-Kazooie, like, all in one session. And then, after that's done, which should take, I don't know, 6 hours, 8 hours. Probably 6 or 7 hours, I would guess. Maybe less if I don't hold myself to 100%. After that, I'm going to go over to viewer levels for all lightning round for a bit. You know, maybe like 2-3 hours. We'll see what makes sense with the time available. And then there'll be some incremental sub-goals that will, like, maybe add some extra segments on and also unlock another stream. Those are all just ideas I have right now. And I think that that'll be just good enough for good enough for like a whole stream. Jesus. Oh, maybe I can... I wonder if I can get through these guys if I just, like, spin at the right time. Like this wall of dudes, maybe, like, spinning through them. Well, it certainly lets me kill them. I don't know. Anyway, Streamiversary, couple weeks away now. I'm really happy with these plans just because, you know, they're simple. They're not that complicated, yet it feels appropriately like a big thing for the second Streamiversary, you know? Which is just like, yeah, you know, Banjo-Kazooie, one of my favorite games, and I don't think I've ever beaten it in one session before, despite having, like, you know, my time on Banjo-Kazooie is down to like 6 to 7 hours on average. But mostly it's because I usually only play it like a world at a time whenever I replay it, so I've never actually gone through the whole thing in one session, and I think that'd be a fun thing to do. And I hope y'all would be interested in, you know, checking that out whenever I do it, which again will be November 3rd. And of course, I will say that's a Friday, so that's why viewer levels will be a part of that. It'll be towards the end. And, you know, since we'll be starting early, hopefully it'll be around the normal time. No. Maybe we'll start earlier than even I say there. I don't know. Plans are tentative. I'll figure out, like, what time to start makes sense. As it gets closer. There we go. Very good. Which, you know, hey, it's only 2 weeks away. Pretty much. So it's pretty much as close as it'll get. I will say, don't plan on setting up a lot of, like, you know, compared to, like, some previous big event streams, it'll be relatively simple, you know? I just need to have the game, I need to have the Mario Maker game, and also for WarioWare and Ring Fit to maybe be on hand, if so needed. Which, I guess, you know, hey, I will try to remember to set up, like, grab my Ring Fit thing and have the strap as well, all ready to go. I guess that is a thing I need to think about, but, you know, depends, I guess, on how well that goes. Okay, here we go. Second phase, let's go. Before we second phase, let me just say, I also have extra life plans written down now. Whoops. Accidental double card there. Let me just show off this promo card as well, which is that Extra Life sometime in November. After that, mid-November, we'll be doing some streams where I play through 50 turns of each Mario Party from 1 to 8. Not sure how long that'll take. My guess is probably would take multiple 12-hour streams, or like one 12-hour stream and then another one. Probably might be multiple streams, is my guess, and, you know, will be a whole thing go through there. I need to come up with some more donation incentives, but I have one in mind where, like, you could sponsor a CPU and you'll get your name next to it or something, and also it'll be set to the highest difficulty, which, you know, I don't know if that depends on the game, but I guess we'll see. That is also relative to other high concept big streams I've done in the past, relatively simple to set up. I just have to have the games, and you know, I just have to have the games ready to go. And I guess I'll plug in the microphone thing for Mario Party, whichever one that is. I'm sure I have the microphone somewhere. Here it is. It was in a drawer. I have the microphone right here. I'll plug that in when we do that. I wonder if its cord will reach. Yeah, I think this might reach. That might reach the GameCube over there. This might be fine. Hello. Yeah, I'll plug that in. That's about as much setup as will be required for that extra live stream. And, like, I guess UI stuff, I'll have to do, like, a HUD. That's all doable, you know? Simple compared to, like, the randomizer roulette we did last year. Relatively simple. Next week, you're going to try to make it 20K VR, Lord Bowser? That's nice. Good luck with that. Again, I just have no context for how big a number. I guess the thing is, with those numbers, is that they can always get bigger. You know, once you get 20K, surely you'll be looking at, getting 25, you know? Or is that, like, just so far away that it won't even be a thing, you know? It'll be like, no, 21 is the next milestone. And even that'll take, like, months, you know? This shit is cool. You look planning on doing a road to 30? Good night, Lord Bowser. You have a good one. $30K, yeah. That seems like a lot higher than what you're currently at. Like, literally 50% higher. Good luck. For some reason, you go a lot faster on the inside ring than the outside ring. Go figure, I guess. I think we need to conserve our vertical position more than, like, maintain speed. So, like, doing a double dodge to get around the spike guys is just no good at all. Fuck. Really? That was a bad time to jump over, it turns out. I'll say, of the other card, pulled another card there for a second. Had to do with sleep stuff. I have been feeling pretty tired recently. I did wonder for a while if it had something to do with the melatonin. Took some melatonin briefly, you know, last week in order to get, like, a good night of sleep while, in unfamiliar circumstances and all. What the fuck? And, I will say the last time I took melatonin, I found that it made me tired, like, all the time. So I haven't really, like, you know, taken to it regularly as a result, because I just find that defeats the purpose of taking melatonin. I will say, though, got a good night of sleep last night, and I'm feeling pretty awake now. Unlike yesterday, where, honestly, I was just, like, from when I woke up to when I was going to bed, just, like, feeling tired and sleepy all day. You know? I got a good, like, 10 hours last night. Just went to bed real goddamn early, you know, like 11 p.m., like basically the time it is now. And got up at like 10, you know, like 9. 9:30 maybe. You know, with getting up a little bit in the middle of the night. In between, you know. Whenever I, like, go to sleep really early, the thing is, I like to take care of, like, Duolingo at, like, midnight. So if ever I, go to sleep earlier, you know, say I get up at, like, 4 a.m. to, like, go to the bathroom or whatever, I'll oftentimes, like, go ahead and, take care of the Duolingo then and there. And, you know, I did that last night as well. And then go back to bed immediately, you know, which seems fine to me. I don't know. I know I could probably just, like, do that during the daytime or something. I like to get that done, like, as soon as possible, which is part of why I don't think, like, if ever any sleep pattern that I want to fall into on a regular basis will involve, like, fuck cock motherfucker. Will involve, like, midnight at the earliest, right? Like, that's about as early as I ever want to go to bed, around midnight or so. So sometimes my sleep schedule gets a little, like, screwy where that's not really possible. But what are you gonna do when that happens, right? All you can do is, like, relax and try to go with the flow. I feel like I should have been... There were a few times when I was pretty close to hitting this motherfucker. I feel like those should have been good for it. Okay, once this guy shows up, the smaller things disappear. God damn it! Like, something's wrong with the timing of that last one. Fuck you! What the fuck? He stepped around to slip to just fire another fucking cock asshole. Is it gonna start me at the second phase? No, it's gonna start me outside. Of course it is. Where was that fairy? It was like way over there, wasn't it? Fairy. Okay, no, it's not way over there. It's like nearby. Let's get that fairy. I'm gonna get that fairy. I'm gonna put it in a bottle. And that will help a lot with this whole boss situation. You motherfucker! Also, wait, can I not empty this fucking bottle? Okay, I have to empty it into my thing. I can't just expend it. Tell me what, bird friend. Get me the fuck out of here. I'm gonna warp the fuck back in, and then that fairy should have respawned. Also, let me look around. Maybe there's a fairy outside. Nope, just a Poe. Well, there is a chest. I don't give a fuck about the chest. Just go back. Just give me... Okay, let's get that fairy this time. I mean, it's good that I got my hearts to maximum. I'll say that. Like, that in isolation is a good thing. And before it looked like, you know, I might have done at 4 hearts to start. There we go. It will restore 8 hearts. Not all your hearts. I mean, at this point, it is all our hearts, but... like in previous games, it was always just everything. I like it better when it's everything versus just, like, a limited amount, you know? Simpler like that. The fairy should be the best healing item in the game. Bar none. I don't think that's a controversial thing. We've seen this before. We don't need to see it again. Alright, first phase. Meanwhile, I'm gonna pull... First phase, again, gonna pull the last card of the night. Did you see the weather getting colder? I will say, something that I noticed over the weekend. You know, especially in the area that I'm in, I guess. Weather's starting to get a little bit cold. Now, I'll say, like, I was, last weekend did a little bit of travel, and the area where I went was pretty warm. It was pretty hot, you know, despite being October, but now being back, and I was, you know, hanging around and realized, like, oh shit, it's like below 70 degrees outside. Like, shit, I was going to go ahead and, you know, put on shorts and shit, but this is actually totally not shorts weather, turns out. Now, I will say, we are not really, I don't think, in the vicinity of, like, you know, don't worry about it weather yet. Right now, we're more in the phase of, like, weather where you're probably good. Weather where when you want to go outside, you need to check the weather app to see, like, is it 75 degrees or is it 65 degrees? You know, at either end of that spectrum, there's an area where it's like, okay, you don't have to worry. Just, you know, shorts and a t-shirt and maybe flip-flops or shoes, whatever. It's all good, you know. And on the other hand, you got, like, okay, yeah, pants, long pants, shoes, and, you know, a nice t-shirt, maybe a hoodie as well. You know, I guess also it might depend on your region and, like, how hot or cold your area is, you know. Like, there are areas where there's, like, different degrees of coldness. Here in Texas, there's just the 1 degree. It's sweatshirt weather, you know. It's a very cool boss. I like the swords in it, you know. But also an annoying boss, considering, like, how many times we have to go back and forth on this shit. Okay, it feels like we have to, like, jump off before you would expect. Like, jump off early on that last one. I think all the previous times we've been jumping off too late. You know, we're not trying to dodge the fireball as it's coming out. We're trying to preempt the fireball in the case of the last jump. I think that's what's been throwing us. 5, 4, 3. Losing altitude when we do this shit. Not good. Pretty sure we need all the altitude we can get. There we go. That's more like it. Anyway, the weather. Gotta think about it for a change. But it'll be fine. Whatever. I do wish that when it goes like back and forth between those two extremes, it was just like one big switch over. But generally it is just like an area of grays, you know, where one day it's gonna be like highs of like 69 and the next day it's gonna be highs of 80s, you know. And I'll say like if it's 80, that's shorts weather again. But whatever. It's fine to go back and forth for a bit. Alright, that there is Arbiter's Grounds completed. Very good dungeon. Love all the stuff with the spinner. Kinda wish there was more spinner stuff. It was all very backloaded, unfortunately. But it's a very good dungeon up to that point. Anyway, could just use a smidge more spinner stuff. Let's go up above, and we're gonna take in some plots. We're gonna find out what's up with the Twilight Mirror of Twilight, and that'll, you know, give us an idea where we're going in subsequent streams. I think we will end after this. I think we are good to go. It's, you know, 11 o'clock. That's a good time for a stream to end. I have thought recently more shorter streams of like a 3-hour length would be perfectly good, you know? Like, not every stream needs to be marathon length. Certainly while we were doing like Pikmin 1, 2, and 3 all at once, like those streams went long. And I think it is good by comparison that a lot of them. I think it is good by comparison that like the Wind Waker streams and these ones as well haven't gotten out of control and have been like relatively constrained, relatively like, you know, 3 or 4 hours long. Honestly, part of me wouldn't mind one if it was just like 2 hours long. I mean, the only thing is that, like, the shorter these are, the longer, the more streams it'll take to get through the game, but that's fine. I can do that. Not like we're in a hurry. These guys gonna fuck it up. No, okay, get out of here. What are these guys doing? Okay, I don't know what those bats were doing, but whatever, they didn't get in the way. We unlocked our fast travel point. Very good. Cool statue to grind up. Again, the spinner is very cool. One of the coolest items in the whole Zelda series. You know, one of the coolest dungeon items. Here's that big mirror. What's up with the mirror now? Yep, it's not there. At least 3 chunks of it aren't. Oh my god. Someone's gone and put it into the 3 other dungeons. What the hell? Why would they do such a thing? Why only 3 and not 500? Also, another question. Maybe it could only be broken in so many pieces. You who possess this crest of the goddess. Hey, what's up? At the command of the goddess, we have guarded the Mirror of Twilight. Good, okay. It has been fragmented by mighty magic. Whose mighty magic? It is a dark power that only he possesses. Okay, so... It's not Zant, it's Ganondorf. If you didn't know, Ganondorf is in this game. Kind of funny that they, you know, wait for a while to mention, like, hey, you know, Ganondorf, he's the real bad here. Zant, he's just a guy. We kind of sent Ganondorf to the Twilight Realm, and looks like he was able to do some stuff over there because soon after we sent him, Zant started getting up to stuff. I don't know if it was soon after, maybe it was like generations later or something. All itchy. He was blind to danger, and thus was exposed, subdued, and brought to justice. Damn, good work. I don't think... That very rarely happens to Ganondorf. He's usually better about that stuff. And these guys seem more metal than most sages. Like, they're using weird magic swords. And I think those are that's the sword that, like, Ganondorf has used before. Ganondorf has used similar swords before. Maybe he's about to grab it. Right, he had like a chunk of the Triforce. By some divine prank, he had been blessed by the power of the gods. Yeah, that's a good read of it. Like, what the fuck were the gods thinking? They don't really think about that stuff. They just do it. It's automatic. That's his new sword now. It is a pretty cool sword. It's no Master Sword, though. These guys are weird with their, like, ethereal forms and their disconnected faces. Like, what's their deal? I would have thought they were just humans in life, but there's clearly something else. Even if they're spirits now, were they spirits then? Or what's the deal? That is a cool effect with the Mirror of Twilight. The rings going into the stone itself. That's a great effect. Love that. One of them was killed. Okay, so they weren't spirits, they were real, or are they spirits that can be killed? I guess these are the guys who must have sealed the original Twilight people in there. And this is just their main move for getting rid of people they don't like. And, you know, organizations they don't like. It's just like, okay, we're gonna cast you into Twilight like everyone else. Which kind of would be cool in, like, concept, right? If they had gone a little further with it, you know? And just established, like, you know, these guys have been casting people into Twilight for thousands of years. You know, You could sort of think of it as like magical Australia, and then suddenly someone crawls out. Someone crawls out of it, and no one knows what the fuck to do because who knows who they are. We've cast so many into that fucking pit. It could be anyone. Just so far as you understand, like, yeah, no matter who's crawled out, we probably ought to be worried. Of course, Australians are good, so it only makes sense in the context of like a fantasy world where everything who gets cast into like a dark realm is probably better off staying there in the dark realm. I guess actually in the text of this game, it is more like Australia in that like, fucking what's her name? Suddenly failing to remember a main character's name. Midna. In that Midna seems alright. She's not evil. She actually is kind of she has like a weird chip on her shoulder as far as like, oh yeah, I'm supposed to be evil. I'm from the evil place. But she's not that evil. She's fine. She's just normal. She's just a little bit a little bit rude in a fun way that people like, you know. You're just now figuring out where Xanac got his power? It's far too late. Yep. Only the true leader of the Twilight could utterly destroy the Mirror of Twilight, so Xant could merely break it into pieces. Okay, so he's not the true leader. All he could do is shatter it into 4 pieces. They're hidden across the land of Hyrule. Okay, good. They know where they are. One is in Snowy Heights. One is in the Ancient Grove, the Temple of Time. One is in the heavens, City in the Clouds. You should be able to gather the 3 pieces. You must be prepared, for a dangerous power resides in those fragments. Yeah, okay, yeah, some weird stuff can happen in some of these places. Well, that all sounds really cool. And, next week, next Monday, I reckon we'll get into that. There's one piece high in the mountains. That would be this part. That's this section of the map here, which we have not yet explored. Interesting that there's no like dungeon or anything up in the like Zora town, up in like Zora land. I guess Zora's got the lake, which happens to be pretty far away from Zora town, but still there's no like Zora temple up here. Next time, I imagine we'll go to one of those dungeons and do it. I think the order goes... It's probably the order that they just said, right? So that'd be the mountains, followed by the Temple of Time over here, the Sacred Grove, followed by the heavens, which is accessed by, a thing that will become... not important right now, but we'll see it in time. After we get all of those, we'll go here and we'll do the Twilight bit, and then there'll be a final bit like later on. We still got a lot of this game left, and 3 really great dungeons remain, and also the Twilight dungeon, and also the Hyrule Castle. My memory of Hyrule Castle is so... I don't remember it very well. Maybe Hyrule Castle is a lot of fun. I feel like the best parts are the next 3 dungeons, which should be pretty cool. And I'll say the Temple of Time is especially good. If we have a choice in what order we go to them in, which I don't think we do. I think it's Ice, Time, Sky. I think it's Mountain, Snow, Heavens. But if we had a choice, I'd love to do Temple of Time next. Let me pull up the schedule. I'll be back on Thursday. I'm gonna say around 8, but maybe more like 9. We're gonna do like 2 hours of viewer levels before Mario Wonder comes out, and then we're gonna start up Mario Wonder and play a whole bunch of that once that hits. Friday, I'm going to do Spider-Man 2, which is also a new release that'll be out on Friday. Would do viewer levels on Friday, but, you know, kind of want to prioritize the new games on Friday and do it then. And also, after I do Spider-Man, we'll probably do more Wonder as well. That'll be fun. You're wondering if you should buy one between Spider-Man and Wonder. If you can only buy one, it's gotta be Wonder, right? Like, how strongly do you feel about Spider-Man? You know what? You can watch me play a good deal of Wonder on Thursday, and then a fair amount of Spider-Man 2 on Friday. Maybe make your decision based on that, or consult any number of reviews, or otherwise, you know, hype out there. Good question, though, Trebucket. Yeah. Let me go ahead and do a raid. Let me see who's streaming. A lot of people are streaming tonight. I'm gonna send you to Glower, who is doing speedrunning Paper Mario. I love Paper Mario. Talked about TTYD earlier. That sounds like a plan. I'm going to pull up the stream on my phone so I can watch the raid go on. And yeah, I think we're ready to end. Get this Alright, folks. I will see you on Thursday for some amount of viewer levels, and then once Wonder hits, a whole lot of Wonder. Like maybe a couple hours worth. You know, we'll go a lot later than we went tonight on Wonder Night, I will assure you. You know, right now, the Wonder would only be out for 20 minutes. Right now, if tonight was Wonder Night, we will be going like maybe 2, 3, 4 hours on Wonder Night, let me say, once Wonder comes out. But also, viewer levels will be that day, and then Friday will be Spider-Man 2, and probably more Wonder once I get tired of Spider-Man. You know, once we see, like, enough Spider-Man to be satisfied with a first session. I'll see you then. Thursday, 8 o'clock Central, maybe around 9. We'll see. Y'all have a good one. Good night, folks.